Hello racing fans! Chip from the Digital Grandstand here with the 10th and final mid-season review of the 2017 F1 Championship. And wouldn't you guessed it, this time we're talking about Mercedes-AMG Petronas F1 Team. The absolute dominators of the hybrid era so far, Mercedes were pretty much untouchable in the last 3 seasons. Only now in 2017 Ferrari managed to get within touching distance to them, but overall even this year's Mercedes can be considered the better machine between the two. And for the fans of numbers and statistics out there, consider this. Ever since the dawn of the hybrid power units in 2014, there have been 70 Grand Prix in Formula 1. Mercedes has won 57 of them. That equates to about 81% of all races since 2014. But enough numbers, let's talk racers, performances and driving styles. With Nico Rosberg's departure from Formula 1 and a replacement for him not necessarily obvious, tensions were running high at Mercedes during the winter. Valtteri Bottas was the best option possible to replace the retiring world champion, but he was not yet a proven quantity. Well, that was not going to last. I think it took Valtteri about 3.5 races to absolutely win the trust of everyone in the team. A steady start in Australia and a super silly mistake in China when he spun behind the safety car raised some questions. But a surprisingly almost effortless pole position in Bahrain followed by a maiden win in Russia put all those fears to rest. And truth be told, the Finn hasn't looked back since the European stretch of the season. Yes, he retired in Spain, but that was strictly a mechanical failure, the only one for the Mercedes W08 so far. In Monaco, on a track that exposed each and every flaw of the car, he produced one of the quali laps of the year to keep both Red Bulls behind and went on to score a formidable 4th place there. It doesn't sound like much, but look where Hamilton finished that race, all the way down in 7th. From Monaco onwards, he was never off the podium. Amazing recovery races in Azerbaijan and the UK and extremely comfortable cruises in Canada, Austria and Hungary means he is very much in the title picture with his teammate and Sebastian Vettel. Even though it hasn't yet been confirmed, I do believe Bottas will be part of the Mercedes team not only next year but at least until 2020. Which leaves us with Lewis Hamilton. A man on a mission this year to prove that the title loss last year was more circumstantial rather than a dent in his armor. Has he delivered on his task? Well, all of his 4 race victories came in such a fashion that it almost made everyone else on track look pedestrian. Lightning quick starts, brilliant defense on the first lap and control cruises to the checkered flag. No surprise then that all of these races produced Grand Slams for the record books. However, his other performances this season have been modest for a racer of his caliber. Yes, Monaco and Hungary were always going to be tough in the Mercedes, but he has no one to blame for his poor showing in Austria and Russia. In Azerbaijan he was hit by that weird headrest issue and he should have taken that win in convincing fashion, while in Hungary he simply should have performed better. The general consent is that the Mercedes car is very much the diva Toto Wolff described. It is very hard to set up and the optimal operating window is much narrower than at Ferrari or even at the previous Mercedes F1 cars. And this year, Lewis tends to try and compensate for this with an aggressive driving style that, more often than not, simply doesn't work. But hey, at least we finally get to see the Hamilton vs Vettel duel for the title this year. And based on what we've seen so far, it doesn't look bad at all. All Hamilton has to do now is keep his concentration, focus and spirit high. The Belgian, Italian, Japanese, even the Malaysian Grand Prix are all favoring the Mercedes squad, with Singapore very much in Ferrari's back pocket. But the final 4 races are all too close to call, which sets the championship nicely for a thrilling conclusion in November. My rating for Mercedes at this point of the season is 8.5 out of 10. They went maybe too aggressive with the concept of the car, they sorted much of it out after Monaco, but bits and pieces of the diva are still there. Hamilton's emotions ran too high at some stages and Bottas was a tad unprepared in the early races, but a very solid performance for the team so far nevertheless. For next year, Mercedes should stick with the same lineup. Hamilton might be on paper the star driver, but Bottas keeps a low profile and might produce a surprise even this year. As for the juniors, Esteban Ocon is still too green for a move up to the big leagues, and Pascal Wehrlein is all but set for a move to Formula E. And that was that. Not only the Mercedes F1 Team mid-season report, but the final one for this point of the season. Do you disagree with my view? What is your rating for the defending champs? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more F1 related content. I've been Chip from the Digital Grandstand. You can find me on Twitter at chip_DGS, and I'll chat to you again soon.